Small Business Excellence. Welcome to the Introduction to Management Operating Systems. What I'm about to teach you today is the secret sauce that most successful businesses don't want you to know about. All the successful companies have a performance-based management and operating system. The concepts, tools and methodology that these successful companies use can be applied to any business, including small service-based business. The objectives for this module is to introduce the concepts of key performance indicators, short interval controls, and the management operating system. To learn how to select and design key performance indicators and short interval controls. And to explain how to design and implement the management operating system in any environment. Now let's take a look at the fundamental principles of key performance indicators, short interval controls and the management operating system. Management is a process. You can only improve what you measure. Measure the things that are important. Cascade goals and targets. Control the parts to control the whole. Managed by exception. Close the loop on performance. Eliminate the bureaucracy. Management is a process, it is a series of skills that can be taught and learned, and it is a series of processes that can be systematically executed. You get what you measure. What gets measured, gets done. People focus on the things that get routinely measured. Measure the important things, don't try and measure everything just because you can. Avoid information overload by only measuring a few key things. Cascade goals and targets. Ensure everyone understands how their goals contributes to the overall targets. Give employees clear line of sight into the business's performance. Control the parts to control the whole. If you control critical processes on a short interval, there will be no nasty surprises at the end of the month. Managed by exception. Do not micromanage. Second guess, or do the work of the people who report to you. Focus on the important things that you should be doing. Close the loop on performance. Check actual versus planned performance, and conduct root cause analysis when things don't go to plan. Ensure that you learn from past performance and factor it into future planning. Follow cycle for change, plan, do, check, act. Eliminate bureaucracy. Don't waste time reworking information or reporting things that aren't reviewed. Make sure that everyone uses the same set of numbers. So, what is a key performance indicator? A key performance indicator, KPI, is a number which is used to measure the performance of a critical activity or process. Keep to a manageable number of KPIs, 3 to 10 max. KPIs are like the dashboard of a car. They provide the essential information required to control the vehicle safely and efficiently. They do not provide information on all of the aspects of the vehicle which could be measured. Measure the right things. The FAA defines on-time departure as when the airplane door shuts, not when it takes off. Believe me, that is not much fun when you're stranded on the runway. Use a combination of leading and lagging key performance indicators. For example, when losing weight, it is far more effective to count calories than to just focus on weight. Leading indicators measure activity, input, while the lagging indicators measure results, output. Measure each KPI against a base, plan, and target. Target equals where you want to get to. Plan equals where you expect to be now. Actual equals where you actually are. Base equals where you came from in the past. Define SMART targets. S equals specific. Be as clear and specific as possible with what you want to achieve. The more narrow your goal, the more you'll understand the steps necessary to achieve it. Example, I want to earn a position managing a development team for a startup tech company. M equals measurable. What evidence will prove you're making progress toward your goal? For example, if your goal is to earn a position managing a development team for a startup tech company, you might measure progress by the number of management positions you've applied for and the number of interviews you've completed. Setting milestones along the way will give you the opportunity to reevaluate and course correct as needed. When you achieve your milestones, remember to reward yourself in small but meaningful ways. For example, I will apply to 3 open positions for the manager of a development team at a tech startup. B equals achievable. Have you set an achievable goal? Setting goals you can reasonably accomplish within a certain time frame will help keep you motivated and focused. Using the above example of earning a job managing a development team, you should know the credentials, experience and skills necessary to earn a leadership position. Before you begin working toward a goal, decide whether it's something you can achieve now or whether there are additional preliminary steps you should take to become better prepared. For example, I will update my resume with relevant qualifications, so I can apply to 3 open positions for the manager of a development team at a tech startup. R equals relevant. When setting goals for yourself, consider whether or not they are relevant. Each of your goals should align with your values and larger, long-term goals. If a goal doesn't contribute toward your broader objectives, you might rethink it. Ask yourself why the goal is important to you, how achieving it will help you, and how it will contribute toward your long-term goals. For example, to achieve my goal of being in leadership, I will update my resume with relevant qualifications so I can apply to 3 open positions for the manager of a development team at a tech startup. T equals time-based. What is your goal time frame? An end date can help provide motivation and help you prioritize. For example, if your goal is to earn a promotion to a more senior position, you might give yourself 6 months. If you haven't achieved your goal in that time frame, take time to consider why. Your time frame might have been unrealistic, you might have run into unexpected roadblocks, or your goal might have been unachievable. Creating specific goals. A specific goal has a much greater chance of being accomplished than a general goal. To set a specific goal, you must answer the 6 W questions. Who is involved? What do I want to accomplish? Where? Identify a location. Science lab. When? Establish a time frame. For second semester. Which? Identify requirements and constraints. Why? Specific reasons, purpose or benefits of accomplishing the goal. For example, to help our students become prepared for the Common Core state standards, help them become college and career ready, and prepare them for state and national testing. Creating measurable goals. Establish concrete criteria for measuring progress toward the attainment of each goal you set. When you measure your progress, you stay on track, reach your target dates, and experience the exhilaration of achievement that spurs you on to continued effort required to reach your goal. To determine if your goal is measurable, ask questions such as: how much? How many? How will I know when it is accomplished? Creating attainable goals. When you identify goals that are most important to you, you begin to figure out ways you can make them come true. You develop the attitudes, abilities, skills, and financial capacity to reach them. You begin seeing previously overlooked opportunities to bring yourself closer to the achievement of your goals. You can attain most any goal you set when you plan your steps wisely and establish a time frame that allows you to carry out those steps. A high goal is frequently easier to reach than a low one because a low goal exerts low motivational force. Some of the hardest jobs you ever accomplished actually seem easy simply because they were a labor of love. Creating realistic goals and targets. To be realistic, a goal must represent an objective toward which you are both willing and able to work. A high goal is frequently easier to reach than a low one because a low goal exerts low motivational force. Some of the hardest jobs you ever accomplished actually seem easy simply because they were a labor of love. To determine if your goal is realistic, ask questions such as: do I truly believe that it can be accomplished? Have I accomplished anything similar in the past? Can I identify the conditions that would have to exist to accomplish this goal? Creating timely goals and targets. A goal should be grounded within a time frame. With no time frame tied to it, there is no sense of urgency. When do you want to accomplish your goal? Someday won't work. But if you anchor it within a time frame, by May 1st, then you have already set your unconscious mind into motion to begin working on the goal. The T can also stand for tangible. A goal is tangible when you can experience it with one of the senses, that is, taste, touch, smell, sight or hearing. When your goal is tangible, you have a better chance of making it specific and measurable and thus attainable. An example of a SMART goal: I will implement standards-based grading into my third-hour U.S. history class using classroom instruction strategies and aligning my assessments to the standards so that students understand their learning targets and objectives, therefore achieving higher scores as evidenced by all students achieving 80% or better on unit tests by May. Why should I use SMART targets? Using the SMART goal framework sets boundaries and defines the steps you'll need to take, resources necessary to get there, and milestones that indicate progress along the way. With SMART goals, you're more likely to achieve your goal efficiently and effectively. Use KPIs as a tool to improve performance. Don't use KPIs as a hammer to punish poor performance. If you do, people will stop telling you what is really going on, gaming the system. Let's play a quick numbers game. What number is missing from 1 to 30 in the table on the screen? It's not easy to tell what is not there when things are not organized correctly. Now that we have it organized correctly, it is visually apparent which numbers are missing. The same can be said for key performance indicators. If we don't track at the right frequency, and at the right level in the organization, it is very difficult to make systematic incremental improvements. The difference between processes and systems. A process is a series or sequence of related activities or events which have a start point, trigger, and an end point, output. A system is used to evaluate or measure the output or effectiveness of a process and to provide information with which to make decisions. Systems are used to manage processes. Systems are not just computers, they include plans and schedules, meetings and reviews, reports and documents, and information systems. There are three types of system in a business: financial, management, and operational. So, what is a management operating system? A management operating system, MOS, is a closed-loop system, comprising of information, documents and meetings, which is used to drive continuous incremental performance improvement. All of the successful companies I have researched or work with have one thing in common: they all have a management operating system that drives continual incremental improvements. Toyota calls their management operating system the Toyota Production System. The Danaher Corporation calls theirs the Danaher Business System. It does not matter what you call the management system, what matters is what it can do for your business. Remember, you cannot improve what you do not measure. Management operating system is to a business is what plan, do, check, act is to a task. The management operating system provides accurate and timely reporting. The right information, at the right time, to the right level in the organization. Employees provide reports on the performance of their key work processes daily to their immediate lead or supervisor. The lead or supervisor summarize the information into weekly reports provided to the manager or director. The managers and/or directors report this information to the executive leadership team on a monthly basis. I call this 3-2-1 reporting. 3-2-1 reporting enables problems to be solved. When the workers cannot resolve or solve an issue or problem at their level, it is escalated to the right level in the organization that has the ability to solve and eliminate the problem from reoccurring. This is the true power of the management system: the right information, at the right time or frequency, to the right level in the organization to resolve and solve problems, making incremental sustainable improvements. Each level in the organization provides relevant information. The executive leadership team provides strategic and operational leadership to the company. They set goals, develop strategy, and ensure the strategy is executed effectively. Middle management is responsible for facilitating any changes needed in an organization and creating an effective working environment. They administer day-to-day routines, monitor performance and make sure everything is done in compliance with organization's needs. The workforce is responsible for executing the work as planned. They provide the reports on performance and escalate issues they are not able to resolve at their level. The management operating system includes both the cycle for change, plan, do, check, act, and 3-2-1 reporting. The right information, at the right time, to the right level. Leadership provides the plan. The right information, what has to be done, when it needs to be done, and the performance goals. This is Level 3 reporting. The workers execute the plan and report the results. This is the do and Level 1 reporting. Middle management monitor the performance. This is the check and Level 2 reporting. When the goals are not achieved, plans are revised and problems are escalated or resolved. This is the act in the cycle for change. All departments in the organization can have their own mini management operating system depending on the size and needs of the organization. For example, there can be sales and marketing operating system, a production or service operations management system. All of the Department of Functional Management operating systems link to the executive leadership management system, providing the organization with a holistic management and operating system where the strategy and goals flow down through the organization in the form of key performance indicators and short interval controls. Displayed on the screen is a pictorial view of the management and operating system flow. Starting at the top left at Level 3, the executive leadership, you have forecast. The typical meeting and reports for this are budgets and high-level sales forecast. Moving to the right under plan, the sales forecast and budgets are broken down into strategic plans, initiatives, and goals for the current year, as well as longer-term plans of 3 to 5 years. Moving down to Level 2, the strategic plans are broken down into monthly and weekly plans and schedules. Moving down, the plans are broken down into daily plans and schedules. Moving to the right, work gets executed and performance is monitored and controlled. Moving to right under control, you see the abbreviation SIC. This stands for short interval control, which we will discuss in greater details later. But for now, this is the reviewing of performance, checking the work at the right frequency and taking action when the goals and expectations of plan are not achieved. Notice there are review meetings scattered throughout. This is to ensure that no nasty surprises are discovered at the end of the month. Under the reporting column starting at the bottom, you have the daily performance reports, which get rolled up into daily weekly operating reports, which then get rolled up into monthly, quarterly, and annual operating reports. These reports are used in the review meetings and provided the necessary feedback loops to adjust revise the plans and schedule. Now let's talk about the concepts of short interval controls, SICs. What are short interval controls? Short interval control, SIC, is the discipline of measuring a process at the shortest appropriate time frame in order to identify variations and take corrective action. Benefits of short interval control, SIC. Provides focus. Identifies small problems before they become larger. Enables a more detailed understanding of process degraders. Engages those closest to the process. Short interval controls prevent small problems from becoming bigger ones. Let's look at an example. This example, sailing with the goal to reach the island. Normally the journey should take 4 days. The captain plans to review the journey after 4 days. After 4 days the captain checks the performance and makes the necessary adjustments. Because of the deviations off course each day and not adjusting until after day 4, the ship will not arrive in the destination port until day 6. Day 5 and 6 are lost days. This is a pure definition of waste. It adds additional cost and leads to customer dissatisfaction. What if the captain reviews the journey every day and takes action when needed? Adjustments are made daily and the ship reaches the destination on day 5, that is a 50% reduction in the waste or lost days. But what if the captain checked performance hourly and takes action when needed? The course corrections are almost immediate and the ship will arrive on time at day 4. Costs are controlled and the customers are happy. This is the power of short interval controls. There are different types of short interval control. There are 4 categories of measures used to control the process at a short interval. Productivity measures production deviations from a theoretical maximum. Plan attainment measures time deviations from a set plan or schedule. Product measures product or raw material parameters in relations to specification limits. Process measures process parameters in relation to process control limits. Identifying short interval controls. Identify what activities the short interval control owner can do to affect productivity. Plan attainment. Product quality. Process management. For productivity and plan attainment activities, define what the short interval control owner can measure that can be measured frequently against set targets. Can be affected by the individual through focus, planning, or process control. Can be coded and aggregated for daily and weekly reporting and trend analysis. For product quality and process management, define what the short interval control owner can measure that is the major indicator of product quality. Is the major indicator of process stability. Can be affected by process adjustments in the individual's control. Can be coded and aggregated for daily and weekly reporting and trend analysis. Select measures and frequencies that are most under the individual's control and best define as success. Fewest and simplest to measure. Reinforce each other to create an integrated control plan. Product or plan attainment short interval control combined with product, service or process short interval control. In summary, successful companies that continually improve and grow all have a robust management and operating system. Management is a process. You can only improve what you measure. You get what you measure. Measure the important things. Cascade goals and targets. Control the parts to control the whole. Manage by exception. Close the loop on performance. Eliminate bureaucracy. For more information on management and operating systems, sales, and marketing excellence, operational excellence, Lean Six Sigma, contact Brian at The Profit Coaches. Contact by phone at 239-677-9811. By email, brian@theprofitcoaches.com. Or contact through our website https://theprofitcoaches.com.